Hello everybody, I'm back. I'm going to be working on just a couple little projects here. I have got 8 ounces of Let's resin mixed up. It is this resin here. Okay, it's 1:1. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try some different little cubes here that I have, these little cube molds. And I thought it would be fun to go ahead and try a couple of different, some kind of fall looking little cubes here for like paperweights or something. One of the things I have are these little like confetti glitter, but they're shaped like little maple leaves, and I thought that would be fun to use in the bottom of this little cube that I'm going to do this pine cone. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is figure out if this is open yet or not. Sometimes if you have a little bag of something and you want to keep it open, stick it down into a little cup and it will help just keep it open for you. So what I want to do is I want to take some UV resin and I'm going to resin this to the bottom. I think that's what I'm going to do first. Okay. I've never made one of these, so this is all kind of new as far as like how I want to go about it. But I'm going to put a dot of this on the very bottom of the cube. Okay, about like that. I'm going to put my pine cone, place it down here right in the center. And then I'm going to see if I can have it cure. Black light will work going through the silicone. So that's what we've got right now. So now what I want to do is I'm going to take my little syringe here. I'm not going to put the little tip on it. I'm just going to leave it kind of blunt tipped like this. Okay. And I'm going to just have it go down the sides here. I've got a bit of micro bubbles in here. Oops, I probably shouldn't have had this sitting right next to my black light, but go down the sides. Just want to get the bottom of this first. Now, usually what I do is when I'm using a syringe like this, is I will have a bit of alcohol ready to pour into this little cup. So I'm going to just pour a bit in here. That way you can keep your syringe cleaned out so you can reuse it. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. And I probably shouldn't have sprayed that right back into there because all the little bubbles came out. Okay, so this is what I've got in here so far. I'm going to do just a bit of alcohol in there. Get rid of those little bubbles. Now, I don't really want these leaves going inside my pine cone. So I'm going to take a craft stick, see if I can do it this way, and just see if I can get them to slide down in there. Got a few sticking to the sides. I have to come back in and get them. These are really pretty. These little leaves are just super pretty. See in here? They're all around the sides, and you know what? I'm not too sure that I hate that idea. A lot of it's just because it's got static. I am going to grab my tweezers here and I'm going to do the rest this way. Oh yeah, you guys, it's static. It's definitely the static. I'm going to spray a little alcohol on the side. There we go. It kind of helps slide them down. Okay, can you see here? Okay, there is this. I'm going to put it in my curing machine and see if I can get that to cure before we do our next step. So I'm going to stick that in there. Now I'm going to try a little bit of a bigger one. I'm going to use a pine cone. Do a pine cone and over here kind of on the side. A little bit of a bigger one. Okay, that one is sitting there pretty well. It's not resined in well enough yet. But now I think I'm going to place maybe this little pumpkin down here. I'll put a couple of these little dried flowers in here. Okay, and then maybe a pumpkin. Let's see, my UV resin. Oops, that went down the side. Let's get my pumpkin in there. I'll let that kind of go in between all the areas here. Let's slide around. Okay. I'm going to take just a bit of my peridot green chunky glitter. And just a little bit of my leaves here. A little bit of these, just a little bit of these little pretty little fall leaves. And just a bit of the gold, Florentine gold. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Just gonna like shake this together. That's what we got. I'm gonna take a little stick here, poke that down in there. Take some alcohol on my popsicle stick and get it off the sides. I'm gonna go ahead and pour. This is starting to get kind of warm. I'm gonna dump this into a couple of cups here. Slow it down just a bit. Some alcohol. Okay, so my resin's starting to get kind of warm, but let's go ahead and start getting some of these flowers in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the whole bottom of UV resin so that I can get all the stuff in there I want to at once. Going to put a pine cone right there, and take one of these flowers. I'll hold that up, and one of these yellow flowers in here. All right. Okay, so my resin's starting to get kind of warm, but let's go ahead and start getting some of these flowers in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the whole bottom of UV resin so that I can get all the stuff in there I want to at once. Okay. And going to put a pine cone right there. And take one of these flowers. I'll hold that up. And one of these yellow flowers in here. And this little flower right here in this corner. And we are going to go ahead and get the flashlight out and try to get the resin to kind of start firming up a bit. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour down the side with my regular resin. Just kind of slowly. And it's kind of seeping down through this side here. You can see. I want the resin to kind of just level out. I'm not going to pour down the center of these flowers. I'm going to keep going. Okay, so I took this out of the curing machine, and this is ready now for some resin to be poured in. As soon as I get some more resin made up, I will go ahead and we will fill this up. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Hello everybody, I am back with our little cubes here, and I'm ready to take them out to see how they did. I see we've got a few bubbles down inside of here, but not anything too awful bad until I get a pressure pot. I'm just going to have to deal with a few bubbles. But you know, I do have the bubble machine from Resiners, and I haven't used it yet, but I'm almost wondering what would happen if I didn't fill something like this, you know, all the way to the top, and I put it in there with my stuff in it. I don't know. I've never used it. I was going to send it back, and I waited too long. My 30 days from Amazon came and went. So anyway, so now I've got it. So I'll probably just go ahead and take it out of the box and use it. But still need to get a pressure pot or something. Okay, so this came out pretty easily. And gosh, our little pine cone turned out nice in there. This was just kind of a practice one, a little bit smaller. But yeah, it's actually quite pretty for fall, little paperweight. Now, I've seen a lot of videos where they go in and they sand off this top piece here with sandpaper and water, and then they go back and they polish it. I'm not going to do that on this particular one. It's pretty. I think my favorite part of this is that pine cone. It's just really picking up the light. It's actually just kind of pretty. Kind of wish I would have done the glitter. It came up here on the sides when I was putting it in the mold, and I never did get it all off of there, but it's still pretty. But I'm more excited to see this one. This one's a little bit bigger. We didn't go all the way to the top of the mold. I just wanted to, basically, I wanted to cover, make sure that the top of the pine cone and everything was covered in here. So that's why I didn't bother to go all the way to the top. I might go ahead and go in here and do a domed top coat on this, though. If it's going to be a paperweight, I don't care if it's completely cubed, you know. It'll be pretty with a dome top as well. I got to break that seal on the bottom. Once you can do that, then usually your piece will come out a little bit easier when you, especially when you've got the alcohol in there. Okay, we've got a little bit of areas down here, but this is just where we put the UV resin and where it cured to, you know, where we got the little plants to stick there. There. All right, you guys, gosh, this turned out really pretty. Do you see we have the little fall leaves just kind of falling in there? And this turned out really pretty clear. We've got a couple of bubbles, see here, but really no micro bubbles, not any that I can see. There's not like a whole lot of teeny tiny bubbles in there. I've just got a couple of, this one's on the surface. I could probably repair that one. But gosh, it actually turned out quite nice. What do you think about that? Here's one little bubble there caught trying to escape out of this little, I think that's a little mum there. I've got a couple of projects going using the Let's Resin. The bubbles and things in here that I've got are not the fault of the resin. My resin was warm when I poured it, so I feel like that is my problem. It was user error, not because of the resin. So anyway, I will probably go ahead and do a top coat on this. Just a little bit wavy. See this here? That was probably caused from the alcohol that I sprayed on there right before it cured. I'm going to get stuff together and we'll do a top coat on this, and I'll be back in just a bit. So I thought I was recording and I evidently lost you in there somewhere. I just put a top coat on both of these, and I just used my craft stick, kind of gently moved it out to the edges. I have no idea why I lost you on that feed. Sorry about that. But this is just a simple top coat. So if you don't know how to do a top coat, let me know. I'll make sure that I get a another video done for you that you can, that goes all the way through. But there we go. It is staying right where I've had it. And I'm going to set it over on my curing rack to cure. And I'll see you when it's all done. All right, you guys, we're back. And these are all cured. Our top coat on these just cured really well. And yeah, they're just so pretty. Really puts me in a fall mood. This one is definitely my favorite. I really like how it turned out. It's just really pretty. And I went ahead and I took some of my 4-inch square coaster cork bottoms, and I went ahead and just traced these out and just peeled them off and went ahead and stuck it on the bottom. I decided not to do a top coat or anything on this. And as you can see, it just kind of helped bring out some of the colors and things with that. And it doesn't look bad. So here's just this little one. This was just kind of a little practice one. And this one is all filled now and completely cured. Go ahead and get this out of here. When you're working with cubes like this, just remember that a lot of times they have sharp edges. And sometimes you'll find, you know, a little slice or something on you that you didn't even know where it came from. Well, it's probably if you were working with some kind of a little cube and you didn't even realize. Get this off. There we go. How cute is that? Turned out really great. We got just a couple of bubbles up here on the top. And that was my fault for not probably coming in that last time to use a heat gun or my spray. And just maybe a couple of bubbles clinging inside here to the pine cone. I really don't see very many, but there are a couple. But overall, really pretty. I just really wanted a fall feel, and I really feel like that we got that with these. Let me know what you guys think. The Let's Resin worked well. Really hope that you have a good day. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you all next time.